on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
It's 2:20. You're listening to Starting Up. My name is Natalie Lindo. My co-host for today is George Hajj, the CEO of Virtue Zone. And we're joined in the studio by Ali Faisal Mostafa from AFM Films.
How is it when it comes to the film world? Is there really thousands and thousands and thousands of directors out there that are producing films that we never basically hear about even?
No, absolutely. I mean, there's hundreds of films that get made that nobody's even heard of.
Wow.
This is why I say it's such a tough industry to be in, because first of all, to even make that one film is quite difficult. So yeah, I mean, even if you go through, let's say, this Netflix, for example, a platform like Netflix, you could be sitting there saying, "I'm going to pick a movie," and you could just go flick through hundreds of films.
That happened to me last night.
And you're just flicking through people's careers and what they have done to try and make that one film.
In a split-second flick, that's all.
Yeah, that it is, you know. And yeah, so there are hundreds of films and hundreds of filmmakers that obviously.
And that's if you make it to Netflix, even.
That's even if you make it, yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I think, Ali, as well, though, you know, if you said to many parents, what do you want your child to be when they grow up? The options are probably fairly, obvious ones. I want you to be a doctor or a teacher. But being a film director is kind of there's not a manual to learn how to become a film director, is there? So lots of people get into the profession. Sometimes people study at university. Sometimes they find they're adept at using a camera and editing. And it all happens in a slightly different way. What was your journey?
Well, filmmaking, like you said, I mean, it could be kind of theoretical. I mean, through theory, through film school and so forth. But filmmaking truly is experience. It's about getting on the ground and doing as much as you can to try and learn. And, you know, there's a lot of filmmakers, actually recently, even in the region, that are going out and making their first film without any experience. Which, you know, hats off to them, but I don't actually recommend that, because clearly the film isn't going to be a good film or a well-received film. I believe you have to learn your craft or earn your stripes, as you will, to try and make the best film that you can make, and that takes time. And what I did, even though I did go to film school, I didn't think film school was something that truly taught me how to make a film.
Was it sort of the basics?
It was more basics, and other than theory, what was good about the film school I went to is that it was quite practical as well. And sorry, this chair is quite creaky. Afterwards, I
blame it on George. He's a right fidgeter.
So I went to when I graduated, came back to Dubai. I tried to get myself on as many sets as possible. And we don't really have film sets here. What we do have a lot is film commercials, or TV commercials. And so what I did is I went to production companies and said what I can do to try and help on set. And that's what I did for a few years. You know, try and learn the ropes, or at least gain some respect in the industry before I tried to make my own commercial.
And I guess that shows a lot of tenacity on your part, going and knocking on doors, asking people to help you out and, you know, saying, look, I can't find a place that's making films here, so I'm going to find the next closest thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's ideal, but not everybody thinks like that, do they?
Well, no, but they should. I mean, that's how you need, and especially if you want to get into film, it's practical. It's only practical.
Now, you are based here in the region, and you have had some of your work. The Worthy in 2016 had the world premiere at London Film Festival, so highlighted there as one of the few Arab films to be released on Netflix too. I mean, how do you build a future for yourself here? Like you said, there's not many places, there's not many film studios. How do you make sure you carve out somewhere for yourself in the region?
Well, to be honest, I've been doing this now professionally, in a sense prior to City of Life, which was 10 years ago, I was doing commercials.
Yeah.
And I stopped commercials for 4 years to start City of Life. So overall, I've probably been doing this for over 15 years. But in terms of my first feature film, 10 years ago, City of Life. Then I went, 2014, we released From A to B. And then The Worthy, which is on Netflix. And I produced films in between. You would think at this point there would be a flourishing film industry. But there isn't yet, unfortunately. We're still at that stage of it just being of movement, And in order for there to be a film industry, it needs to be sustainable.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be able to make a film that makes money, and then that money you go ahead and make a second film. So we're not at a stage where our films are becoming profitable. And earlier on, it was because there weren't enough cinemas. But now, obviously, Dubai is growing, the UAE is growing, there's a lot more cinemas.
There's
but
loads.
What's given us a lot more hope now is Saudi. Saudi
Yes.
now has decided to open up cinemas, and that's giving regional filmmakers definitely more hope.
25 million people, absolutely.
Amazing. We'll have to leave it there. That's all we've got time for. But best of luck with the new project too. And Priscilla, thank you so much for getting in touch. Big thanks to Ali Faisal Mostafa. Lots of excellent advice there and exciting to hear about your new projects. Thanks for joining us.